Another year is coming to a close, so I'm back with my top 10 favorite movies of 2017. And I know it's been a while. I've been sick like a dog, which does explain one of my first disclaimers, because you will see films on my list that I have not reviewed this year. I was too sick to review them, but I did see them. Also, next disclaimer, you will see some films on my list that I've given the silver medal above films that I've given the gold medal. Why is that? Well, because this list is not a review. This is my subjective list. And also, if you disagree with that list, that is 100% okay. Let's just be civil about it. Everyone gets to have their own personal favorites. Just let me know about your top 10 favorites. And last but definitely not least, I did not get to see every single movie that I wanted to see. The one that I'm really bummed out that I did not get the chance to see was The Disaster Artist. I have such a special love-hate relationship with The Room that I was dying to see this film, but I did not have the chance to. However, once I see it, I will review it for you guys. Disclaimers have been disclaimed. Let's do this. Number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Coco. Oh my god, you know that I love me some animated fun. And in my humble opinion, Coco was this year's best animated feature film. Pixar and Disney knocked it out of the park once again. The animation was beautiful and stunning. The story was surprisingly touching. I love the songs, I love the characters, I love the message, because this is a very deep message for children. Honoring the past traditions of your family and putting your family above your own personal ego or even your personal dreams was a very important and unusual message. I love this movie. It was spectacular and I'm glad that I got to see it. Stephen King's It. Oh my god, yes, I dressed up as Pennywise this year because this movie blew me away. I expected it to be a good horror film. However, what I got was a great coming-of-age story with some terrific acting, because all the child actors in this film were spectacular. It really reminded me of Stranger Things. Funny enough, because Mike from Stranger Things is in the film, playing a very different character. Overall, I love the tension building, I love the atmosphere, I love Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown, and I really want to get this movie on Blu-ray ASAP because it is really that good. Number 8. The next horror movie on my list, and probably the biggest surprise of the entire year, was Get Out. I'm telling you, I heard so much great stuff about this film, and normally when I hear people praising a movie over and over, I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna disagree with them because I'm overhyped now. Guess what? I love this movie. I love the social and moral implications. It was a horror movie slash thriller slash dark comedy about racism, and not the usual cliche-filled racism that we all know. No, this was more about subtle racism. I love that film. I love the performances. It is an instant classic and definitely deserves a spot on my list. Number 7. Coming in at number 7 is another movie that I did not review on this channel. However, I did see it and I did love it. The Greatest Showman. Hugh Jackman proves once again that he is just such a great talent. He can dance, he can sing, he can act, he can bring me to tears. Zac Efron was fantastic, seriously. Zac Efron used to be in High School Musical, now he's doing this. Amazing. And Zendaya, I will apologize because I didn't necessarily like her in Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't understand the fuzz about her. Well, now I do. She is talented. She has a great voice. She gave a terrific performance. I love the songs. I love the entire cast. And yeah, this musical I personally enjoyed more than La La Land. I know. Bring on the hate. Number 6. Next up is probably the coolest movie on my list, Baby Driver. Edgar Wright did it again. Personally, I think he outdid himself this time around because this is my favorite movie of his. It has the best editing. It has the most terrific soundtrack. And the way the soundtrack and the film tell the story together was phenomenal. I loved Ansel Elgort. I loved Kevin Spacey. Am I even allowed to say that anymore? Jamie Foxx was terrific as the bad guy. And overall, this was just one of the coolest, slickest, and most original films I've seen all year. Number 5. Now, I guess number 5 is a little bit controversial because some people didn't see that film and a lot of people that saw it didn't like it. I personally loved it. And every single year there's this one film that everybody hates that I love. This year it was A Cure for Wellness. Gore Verbinski, the director of Pirates of the Caribbean, gave me one of the most original thrillers I've ever seen. As I said in my review, if Shutter Island and The Shining had a kid, it would be A Cure for Wellness. Dane DeHaan gave the best performance of his entire career. And I'm telling you, I was just sucked into this film. I saw it 3 times already and I want to see it again. It's that good. Number 4. Next up on my list is another sequel. However, not a franchise building sequel, not part of a cinematic universe. No, we're talking Blade Runner 2049. Oh my god, this movie is a science fiction masterpiece. If you like the original, there's no way you do not like this one. Yes, the pacing is slow, but so was the pacing in the original. The framing, the cinematography. This is the most beautiful looking film I've seen this year and maybe in my entire life. Harrison Ford was amazing, but he didn't steal the show. This movie was about a new character, perfectly portrayed by Ryan Gosling. I love the fact that they continued to develop the lore of the original Blade Runner while simultaneously keeping the mystery intact. You don't get that a lot these days, and I give the movie so much praise for it. It's a science fiction masterpiece. Number 3. Next up on my list was the most unique cinematic experience I've had all year. Dunkirk. Oh my god, Christopher Nolan did it again. This was a war epic, but not in the way you expect. It was not a character-driven movie. It didn't involve a lot of drama. No, it was all about the situation. You're sucked into that horrible scenario, and the editing, the cinematography, the dogfights, the practicality, phenomenal. I'm telling you, I don't get that a lot these days in movies, and I'm sad because I don't think that Dunkirk will give me the same feeling on DVD or Blu-ray, because this movie was made for cinema. The scale, size, and scope of it was gigantic, and I can't tell you how much this film affected me personally. Number 2. Okay, we're almost there, folks, and I gotta be honest with you. I was considering to put this movie on my number 1 spot because I just love it so much. Logan. Yep, I've always loved the X-Men franchise, but let's be honest, not all of them are good. X-Men 3, X-Men Origins Wolverine, especially the standalone Wolverine movies never seem to work that well. Logan blew all of that out of the water. It's a somber, bitter, unapologetic drama, and I loved every second of it. Hugh Jackman gave the best performance ever as Logan. Patrick Stewart, in my opinion, gives the best performance of his entire career, and Daphne Keane as X-23 was equally amazing. This is a story about family, about passing the torch, and about a guy that has had a horrible, tragic life and the end of his journey. I teared up. I loved it. I loved the R rating. I loved the action, but most of all, I loved the character, because this movie is a character piece. Yup, at this point, it is my favorite comic book movie of all time. Number 1. This is it, folks. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? It is War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm telling you, man, no other movie this year made me cry. This film, I wept like a little baby. I'm telling you, the Holocaust-ish imagery in this film hit me on such a personal level. Also, the characters, the non-verbal interaction between these CGI apes was phenomenal. And Caesar is one of my all-time favorite characters in movie history. Andy Serkis portrayed him perfectly, and this was the perfect way to conclude this very, very tragic, very emotional story. It's not an easy watch. I don't know why they call it War for the Planet of the Apes. It's a drama. It's not an action flick. It's a character-driven masterpiece, in my opinion. This movie stuck with me. It didn't let go of me. I got it on Blu-ray. I watched it again. I cried again. This movie is definitely my favorite movie of the year. And that sums up my top 10 favorite movies of 2017. Now, before you throw all your hate comments at me, just let me know about your top favorite movies of 2017, and make sure to check out my top 10 worst films of 2017. Video will be up in a few days. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.